Tonight on our Great American Panel, he is a Republican candidate for Congress in Maryland's 5th District, challenging Democrat House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer. Charles Lollar is here. He's a contributing editor at National Review. Jim Garrity's back with us. She is a columnist, Fox News political analyst. Kirsten Powers, who got excoriated recently for me saying something nice about y'all. That's the last time. I don't want your liberal friends.
Never again.
All right, this just broke, by the way. President Obama talking about the oil spill. Even though I'm president of the United States, my power is not limitless. So I can't dive down there and plug the hole. I can't suck it up with a straw. Now, we just had a lot of examples on this program tonight of we have all this boom sitting in warehouses, right? We've got all these guys with these great techniques, all these skimmers. 3 days into this, the Dutch offered us skimmers that would be taking 20,000 tons a day, and our government turned it down. So he can't suck it up with a straw, but he could have accepted the help. Yeah. You've been critical as a Democrat.
A lot of Democrats have been critical. I think, of course, there's a lot of things that they could have done. They keep maintaining that they've done everything that could possibly be done, and I don't think that that's the case. I also think this, there were a lot of other things that are in this news story where he seems to be really sort of whining, almost like I'm being treated unfairly, and the hypocrisy of conservatives. And okay, that's a topic for discussion certainly, but it's really not a good topic for discussion right now.
Yeah, and when you look at his anger, I want to kick butt. I'm doing all the. He's almost unhinged at this point on this.
If I'm the president and I'm talking about my response to this oil spill in day 54, I'd avoid using the word suck. It's just unfortunate. Most people have that word in their heads.
That's why I like reading your stuff on National Review.
A very different context. Most people are thinking of that word, and just. Sucking it up is something I think a lot of us would like to see coming out of the White House.
It's interesting because he gave a speech to a bunch of high school students. He said, stop passing the blame. Yeah. It seems that's all he's done his whole presidency. George Bush's fault. Yeah. Now it's everybody, but him. And here are all these smart people, all these things that we now discover were offered, all this boom in these warehouses, the Dutch offering these skimmers. Yeah. What excuse does he have?
Sean, we tend to make excuses when we don't have a plan, an action, or strategy. And it's almost comical when I read that when the president actually made the statement that, those that were talking about leadership this time before now are accusing me of not stepping up, where in the past I would have been seen as taking companies' freedoms, etc. It's almost laughable without understanding that now we have a crisis on our hands. The healthcare situation wasn't a crisis. This is a crisis, an environmental one, thousands of jobs being left from day one. We should have had a meeting with businessmen and businesswomen. We should have had a meeting with agencies, a closed-door meeting. We should have had a plan, a strategy, and a plan. I've seen it so many times in my Marine Corps experience. When people don't have a plan, when they don't know how to lead, they pass excuses.
I got to tell you something. I think that's extraordinarily well said. I wish you were leading right now, honestly, because we need somebody. Does this go back to the fact, no executive experience, voting present? All the things we've known about, given into the radical environmental movement. We can't burn, we can't use chemicals.
Well, I don't agree that he's given into the radical environmental movement because he came out.
Why didn't we burn?
He came out in favor of offshore drilling. How radical is that?
No, exploration off the eastern coast.
I oppose all of it. Personally, I don't think we should be doing any of this drilling, and certainly not this deep water drilling. And so
we should be in Alaska, where you come from.
I would prefer that we weren't drilling anywhere, but if you're going to drill, I would prefer you weren't doing it in the water.
Well, do you ever want to drive in a car? Do you want to heat your home? What do you plan on heating?
First of all, we
can't cut down trees. That's illegal too in the environmental.
We don't get the bulk of our oil this way anyway, Sean. We're dependent on other countries,
but we don't need to be dependent.
I would like for us to get off of oil.
It's regulation going wild, and it just continues down that same stream of consciousness, stream of thought. And I want to go back to this because it's very important. Anyone that's ever had the opportunity to lead, whether it's people, whether it's systems, whatever the case, we know how to react in times like these. And when you get a bunch of smart people in a room and you start throwing things around and you start asking the hard questions, you're going to come up with an answer. You're going to come up with a strategy, and you're going to implement that. When you're just playing the game, going back and forth, you won't know what to do with it.
I'm going to note that the environmentalists have a point. The goodness gracious, if we did burn the oil, Sean, we could have an environmental disaster on our hands. Completely different circumstance than we have right now, right?
Well, you woke up very sarcastic. We like that. Thanks. We'll take a break. We'll come back more with our great American panel straight ahead.
To get great